Hello amphibian lovers, it's AmphibianBoss here, and today I want to do a new additions video. I haven't done a amphibian room tour in a while because I really didn't have the time to do it and I never really thought about it. And I didn't really think I should because I didn't have a lot of new additions. But I have moved a lot of things around, have started some new projects, and I also have some new additions now. I do. I've actually had this new edition for some time now. It hasn't been like super new, but I do have another new edition that's brand new. You probably already know if you keep up on my channel. But I wanted to show my two new additions to you guys. I thought it would be a little quicker, easier, and a nice, fun video to show, just to give some entertainment, just something new. So first of all, this is my American toad. They're a common species in Ontario, where I live, other places in Canada, and also in the United States. We also have the Fowler's toad, which I have some pictures of that I can actually show at the end of this video that I found closer to the beaches area, but they are threatened in Ontario, so I do not keep them as pets. But American toads are quite common around here, and it's not hurting their population by putting one in my collection. Leave your suggestions. I'm either going to put this guy in brumation, I believe that's what it's called. I'm just going to put him in my basement during the winter to cool him down, so he does maybe go into a hibernation mode or slower down, and then comes back out in the spring. I also may just leave it the way it is and see how he adapts and reacts to this conditions. Also, I may just let him go and catch a new one in the spring. Now, I caught this guy because we do have window wells in my backyard. I'll show it to you later. We built a new house, if you don't already know, and my backyard is like a desert. It's very dirty, and there's just dirt and like some little shrubs and stuff. Not a lot of grass, not very humid, and not very moist. So we get a lot of these American toads. And I think we just get American toads in the area that we live in. And they get into the window wells and they fall in there and they can't get out. And once in a while when I'm on vacation, sometimes it does happen. One will fall in, I won't be able to bring him out because I'm on vacation, and sometimes they will die. But most of the time I always check them every couple days just to see if there's a toad in there. And I found this toad, and actually he's very special. I don't know if this, I don't really want to stress him out because I haven't handled him a lot, but I will pick him up anyway. He should be okay if I pick him up. Now they do have very dry skin, so it doesn't bother them a lot if you pick them up, but I would suggest washing your hands before and after. I have already washed my hands. But you can't already see his back foot here. I'll try and show it to you. His back foot doesn't have any toes, and this back foot does have toes. I think this is a deformation. I don't think he lost them in any little battles with other toads or anything. I think this is just a deformation with the fungus. I forget what the fungus is called, but it's a fungus that goes around with amphibians, and this could be a possibility. I also live in high farmland, very good soil, and I actually do have a bean field behind me. If you've ever come to where I live, it's all fields in southern Ontario where I live. So it could be something poison related, or fertilizers or sprays or anything. He is living really good. You can see by his girth, he's very healthy. I've seen him eat crickets. I will do a feeding video for you guys also, but he is very healthy and has been quite active the past couple days. When I first got him, he kind of just burrowed. They do like to burrow in the dry soil, but he has been quite active and feeding. I will just put him back down. Oop. There, I'll just put him back down in there. But he is very, very cool. I really, really do love these toads. They are quite common, but he is pretty awesome, and I can actually take this tripod up. It's the... I'm not 100% sure how big this thing is. I'll have to look at the measurements, but I think it's like it was like 12 or 14, yeah, I think it's 14 inches by 10 inches or something, or 8 inches, and then it's like 5 inches tall. So, you know, it's a good size for him. You should have them in larger tanks, but don't have a lot of space or a larger tank. He does like this tank, and he does move around quite a bit, and he hasn't been stressed out a lot. He has been moving around a lot more, which means he is liking his terrarium. I have two hides here. I have this cork bark hide, which I don't even think he uses. I think the crickets actually hide in that. And there's this here, which he used to hide in. And then back here is one of his burrows. And then there's another burrow underneath that rock, that hide. He hasn't been burrowing a lot, which means he is kind of more active, less stressed. I also have this water dish with some plants and stuff for him to crawl on, just so the crickets don't get in there. You do put plants in there, crickets won't die as much. And he doesn't need a lot of water. He does live in quite dry climates. He doesn't need a lot of water, so I put him in this water dish in here just in case he needs water. And that's basically it. If you guys have any questions about my American toad, I will answer your questions. And if you have any suggestions for me, go right ahead. I love suggestions. I like to learn new things all the time. I'll show you my next new addition in just a bit. While making this video, I just noticed a couple things. My plant is very, very dry and needs a lot more water. A couple of my plants do. I didn't even think about that. But you can see my backyard's just dirt, weeds, and there's a bean field back there, and then there's a bush. I go back in the bush once in a while. And there's windmill too. Never seen a windmill before. We have windmills here, and they're a pain in the ass. Nobody likes them, and they're not really efficient at getting any electricity. But if you think those things are cool, you know, might as well move here. But I don't think anyone else likes them. It's very, very controversial, but that's not what my channel is about. But you can see my backyard's just a desert. I do have some gardens and things. I can show you my backyard sometime. There's nothing really to show. I do have a little ditch out front with some frogs in it, but I would like to get a frog pond and maybe a larger pond. I can put turtles or fish in and stuff, larger pond. So I'll show you my next edition. Okay, I'm back. Here is our other new addition. Now this is something that I've shared. Close the door here. Something my brother and I are sharing. He doesn't really want to be on the YouTube channel, but this is part of his, this is actually in his room, part of our little project, I guess. I'm actually going to take this off the tripod. Sorry, finger in the way. Who likes that? No, no finger in the way. There you can see my new white street frog. Now I did show this tank on, or this terrarium on my one video, so it's nothing new. You can also see he's down there in the hide. I can take him out for you. He's actually just crawling around, which is a good thing, but since we are in here, he doesn't like being around when we're around. So I can take him out and I'll show you and I'll be right back. So it's not often that I show my face on YouTube. I try not to do it that often, but I'm not trying to hide myself. Now it is daytime. We actually just found this guy out, and we just decided to pick him up and show him off. He is brown at the moment, but he is still quite healthy, and he does have some green on him if you can't already see. Try not to move the tripod. Hey, try not to move that. Just leave it the way it is. Tighten it. Yeah, I have a cameraman working with me now. Yeah, he's quite cool. He is starting to turn green a little bit. He's just kind of a work in progress. Same with my American toad. He has started to come out already. If you haven't already heard my story about him, he was a lady's pet. She was an older lady, and she passed away. And it was my cousin's my friend, cousin, great grandma. And he said, "Do you want it? Because I don't want it." So I said, "Sure, I'll take it." So I got a free frog. He is older. He is about 8 to 10 years old. Can you see him? Quite good. Do you see him? Okay. He is 8 to 10 years old, so he is a little bit older. But he is still a frog. They don't age like a person or anything. So they do look exactly the same as they would when they're 5 years old. They're just a little bit bigger. I believe this is a male, because they do get bigger. And if he's 8 years old already, and if he's 8 years old already, then it means he's probably already full grown. I just like him crawling up my hand and stuff, kind of like a lizard. Some of them do look a little bit different. Like some of them have like those wrinkles and stuff on their sides, and this Freddy doesn't. His name's Freddy, if you don't know. So he already had the name, so we're just gonna keep his name. He's a little bit
Whoa!
Skinny. Come here. He jumped at Braden. He's a little bit skinnier. We are trying to feed him. He does eat at night. How did that feel? He just got smacked in the face by a frog. He is probably stressing out a bit. He probably wants to go back into his tank. We will set up his cage a different way sometime. And the crickets have been drowning in the water, so I do need to go buy more soon. I will do that soon. So that's basically it with him. She just passed away, and my cousin just said, "Do you want it?" I said, "Sure." So now I got a white street frog. He's a little bit different than some of the other white street frogs. Some of them look a little different, but that's basically it. Just hard to stand at the camera. I'll just do this. He's gonna jump again. I know it because he's facing forwards towards something. That's the best way to tell that they're gonna jump on something. So you just put your hand in front of them so they don't jump. That's basically it. I just want to film me putting him back in his cage because I know with lizards, frogs will probably want to go back in their cage. I don't know if we'll go back in. Yeah, so I think he's quite cool. I haven't done a lot of research, but I do know my amphibians well. He's actually just going back into his little hide there. We'll see what he does. I think he's kind of cool. I'm going to give him some more bugs too. But that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. I thought this was kind of a cool little thing to do. It's kind of hard to show because I don't really know if you know what you're doing, Braden. But there we are. It's a nice little setup. I think it's cool to have some new pets. That's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. That's basically it. Peace.